At it today. They had Saturday afternoon, evening off, and Sunday off to rest and recover, and got back at it today in a padded practice and got a lot of good work in. Treated it like a normal down and distance day for us, and physical practice for us. Obviously, really honing in on North Carolina, and a lot of the game plan things that, like I talked to you about before, were in last week, and now we're just refining those things. Obviously, depth chart got released today, and really excited about kind of the progress our team has made. We need everybody on that depth chart, and it's by no means set in stone, but that's where we're at right now. So with that, I'll open it up.
With McElwain not on that depth chart, is that the final word? Is he not going to be eligible this year?
He's not eligible right now.
Okay, all right. So we're still with the right now part of it. Then. Okay. Yeah, so good. Go ahead, Dave.
Just what Bowers obviously is what made the difference there?
All the guys did a really nice job. I could talk about each of them. Ross just, over the course of the camp, earned the right, and wasn't one day or one play or one practice. It was kind of the body of work. But again, Ross has got to continue to improve, and he knows that. But we need Chase Forrest, we need Chase Garbers, we need Brandon. So that's where it's at right now. Yeah, Ross is our starter, and we're excited to get him out there and let him compete.
You guys have done a good job of rallying around whoever was playing quarterback. How did they react today when there was a guy who they know is going to start that first game?
No different than any other day, to be honest. They came out and did a good job preparing for practice and came out and worked, and I don't think they're excited to play, and like you mentioned, whoever's taking the snap at quarterback, they're going to be fully behind them.
The name we saw in there was Gavin Reinwald. How's he done this fall?
He's done a nice job. Gavin is an athletic guy, catches the ball really well. He's still got to develop physically, but he's tough and he can run and he catches the ball well. So.
How did the announcement go down with Ross? Did you call him to your office, say, hey, guess what? This is what we're going to do, or?
We didn't. Wasn't overly formal. Yeah, Ross earned the right to start, and that's where we're going. So I know you want there to be a press conference or something.
Well, no, I
just
like,
wasn't.
hey,
I mean, just like any other position,
Yo.
They're starting defensive ends and outside linebackers and all those other positions too. So we're really pleased with the progress Ross has made, as well as Chase and Brandon. We didn't make it a big deal.
You talked about it being over a body of work. Did you kind of get a sense, though, the way this was playing out, maybe even a couple of weeks ago, that this was kind of where you were going to go?
No, I wouldn't necessarily say that. No, I think just over the course of camp.
Okay. What does he do? What does Ross do? That
he's got Ross is he can throw the football. I mean, he spins it really well. He's an athletic guy. He can make some things happen when it's not perfect. He kind of has that mentality about him. Find a way he can throw from different arm angles. He can get out of trouble and make a play on the run. So I think you see some of that. He can make some plays with his feet. So he's got to continue to get better in other areas. But that's what Ross.
Do you think it helps him, the fact that it was a tight competition throughout? He knows that, like you say, he's got to keep going. That he can't. If he slips up, there's a couple guys right over his shoulder. Do you think that kind of helps him?
You'd have to ask Ross, but to me, it's your internal motivation is hopefully trumps the external motivators. That his want to be good and his willingness to put in the work trumps anything that lives outside of him.
UNC, they have obviously their depth chart has the or at quarterback, so they don't know who, and they also have a lot of new guys in terms of you mentioned the other day, they have a lot of new guys in terms of their personnel. Do you think that'll slow them down? Because I know they like to go high tempo, but do you think that'll kind of maybe put a governor on them?
I wouldn't think so. We wouldn't prepare that way. I think they're going to do what has been successful for them, and Coach Fedora has done that for a number of years with different personnel, and so I wouldn't think that would change their philosophy on offense, but I can't answer that question. You'd have to ask them.
What do you make of the fact they only had one pick last year, but they were like a top 20 passing defense? Those two seem to be kind of an odd bedfellows.
Sometimes it just the way the ball bounces. Again, I've watched their team play in our cutouts, but I don't know the reason for that.
Okay.
Kind of 5 underclassmen starters on defense. Are you looking to seniors to particularly set the tone on defense with that many good guys out there?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of guys that can be leaders on our team. Obviously, the guys that have played a lot of football, we can go down the list of the veteran guys on defense, and we need those guys, and we need the young guys to come along. And I think I mentioned it before, but you see a lot of names on there, and especially in certain positions, like all those guys are going to play. And I know it's who's first on the depth chart is a big deal, but it's really a bigger deal to you than it is to us, and because those guys are going to play. And maybe some of the guys that are second on the depth chart end up playing more snaps than the guys that are first because of the way the game plays out.
Does that apply to quarterback too?
Yeah. Ross is the starter. Ross earned the right to be the starter. So.
Well, but might you going in know that you're going to play Chase for a series?
Really hard for me to. We're not planning on that,
Okay.
but it's really hard for me to predict what's going to happen during
Right.
the
Okay.
game.
But I think you're
I
not.
mean, things.
Sometimes coaches say definitely Chase is going to play the second or third series.
Ross earned the right
Okay.
to start, and that's where we're going. But again, I can't predict what's going to happen the first, second, fifth play of the game. And football is physical. We need Ross. We need Chase. We need every guy on defense and offense.
But there was never any thought to because some teams, some coaches, when a decision goes down this long, they go, you know what, we're going to play this kid, we'll rotate this kid until we get it. That was never.
Ross has earned the right to start, and he's going to play. That's where we're at right now. Yeah.
Another name that jumped out was Ashton Davis. What have you seen from him tonight? You have him back from track.
Ashton's a phenomenal athlete. He's very, obviously, really fast, as you guys know if you look at his track times, and he's really strong. He's got good size. He loves the game of football. He eats it up, and he's learning a lot. We've played him at corner. He's played a little nickel, and he's playing safety for us. And he just has got a really good skill set. So we're excited about his progress through fall camp and where he's headed.
He translates well to the kickoff return game for you.
Yeah, he's like I said, he can run. I mean, he's a fast guy, and he's a tough guy. He doesn't flinch. So that's kind of a natural spot for somebody like that.
How good have those two freshman corners been that are in that war spot
Sure.
at one side?
Really pleased with the way they've come along. Gerald Alexander's done a great job with those guys, and they have done, because there were some returners that had played a lot at corner, and to make it that competitive is really a tribute to them. It's not about what anybody else didn't do, it's really what they have done. And so again, a couple guys that haven't played, but we're excited about where they're going, and they're talented.
You have an or in the punter situation. Is that still an ongoing battle? Or
Yeah.
when do you think that'll decision will come down?
We will see. Yeah, we will see. I mean, obviously Dylan has done a good job. He's punted here. Steven gives us another guy that's got a really big leg, and he's kind of gives you a couple different dimensions. Yeah.
Carolina Coach Fedora talked today about using all three quarterbacks, maybe even four. Does that make prep different, unique for you guys?
I think you prepare for the offense that they've shown, and then you anticipate maybe how they would use certain guys. So I think and you have a menu that dates back to when you install your defense and offense for that matter on the other side of the ball, but that you have an answer for a particular style of player and offense. If they're going to run them, use them to throw it, is it truly when they have one back in the backfield, is it truly one back, or is it really two backs because the quarterback's a runner? So I think that's how you look at it.
The rest of this week, other than the Thursday travel, will the rest of this week kind of line up the way you guys will throughout the season as far as practices go?
A little different. We're kind of one day ahead.
Okay.
So today was more like a traditional Tuesday.
Okay.
Yep. So we picked up an extra day that way. Okay. And it because of obviously first game. So we have today is more like a Tuesday, tomorrow's more like a Wednesday. So we're basically okay.
All right. Everybody
Thanks.
good?